Hey, everybody, and welcome to our final Big Dave Show virtual field trip of the spring here. Since last fall, we've done, well, with this one, 24 of these. It's been a lot of fun taking you guys all over the tri-state, and hopefully soon, maybe next fall, you'll be able to go back on actual field trips again. But until then, hey, we're happy to take you on some. And I think Statman, real quick before we get going here, Statman, what's been your favorite field trip, this one withstanding today? What's been your favorite one to go on?
I'm going to say going to the dairy farm I thought was really neat because that robotic milking machine that found the udders and milked the cow all by itself, that was fascinating.
That was cool. I like that, the Edmar family dairy farm there. And
yeah.
Cool. I like that. Ashley, what's been your favorite field trip that we've gone on?
Well, there's been a lot of them. I really enjoyed going to Dosher's Candies and seeing how a candy cane was made because they're so little and you just I wouldn't think that it took that much to make all those candy canes right here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, fun to find out. And Chelsea, what about yours? What was your favorite?
Of course, it had to be the zoo and the wallabies.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've done 3 at the zoo, and the Wallabies was one of the first ones. Very fun. I love that one. I loved them all, but I tell you, I really like the one we actually were taking on a field trip to ourselves, kind of virtually, was to the Wilson Sporting Goods store or factory in Ada, Ohio, where we watched them make a Super Bowl football. That was a lot of fun. Well, we want to thank Grippo's, Potato Chips, Skyline Chili, and Hawksworth Blood Center for sponsoring us. And guys, I don't know, is everybody muted? Everybody good to go? All right, and do me a favor, from here on out, try to limit what you write in the comment section to only questions in the chat section. So Chad from Kings Island can pop on with us and it's easier to find everybody's questions. So we're going to take you, like I said, on this final one, on a behind the scenes trip to Kings Island. I hope everybody's ready to do this, because I know we are. We had a lot of fun out there the other day. So without further ado, let's go to Kings Island. Hey, it's the Big Dave Show. Welcome to our final virtual field trip for the year. I know we're sad, it's number 24, but we've saved the best for last. We're here at Kings Island. Duh. Look at this. There it is. All right. And we got Chad Showalter here with us. Chad, how are you, buddy?
Doing great. How are you doing, Big Dave?
We're awesome. We're ready to take these kids on a little behind-the-scenes tour of Kings Island. We're going to check out the new Giga Coaster Orion. Awesome. And, well, one that was built just a couple of years ago, Mystic Timbers.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
We're going to kind of see how roller coasters work and what keeps them on the track and everything else. So, you guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's do it. This looks weird, all empty out here, Chad.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot different when there's nobody in the park, but it's one of my favorite things to do is to walk around the park when it's empty.
How many loops around is a mile?
2.
Rick, well, do you mind if we take a look at the field?
Go right ahead. I just plowed it under this morning.
I see. And is that your new combine harvester parked next to your barn, Mr. Fenner? Would you like to comment on that? I think y'all better go, man.
That's fun. There's the old racer right there. We're walking under the racer, kids.
They used to go one backwards and one forward.
Yeah, Chad, why don't they do that anymore?
They stopped doing that a while ago, and a lot of people asked that, but they weren't riding. Our guests weren't riding the backwards racer, so we turned them both forward.
So not enough people.
Not enough
I want to
people.
go forward, so yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Oh. Ashley, you had something you wanted to ask him if we're going to go by any place that's open.
It's a little cold out today. Is the blue ice cream available right now?
Not right now, but I can't wait. I'll take that any time of the year. It doesn't matter what the temperature is.
Oh, is this Jamie we're coming up on?
Yes, sir.
Hey, there he is, the Vice President of Maintenance.
How you doing?
How are you, sir?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. Oh, well, look at the bump there. I can't see you very good.
Ashley.
All right.
All right, so we're here, and you're going to show us a little bit of behind the scenes of Orion, the Giga Coaster here.
Yeah.
Cool.
I rode it last year.
And
For the
what
first
did you
time ever.
think?
Oh, it was awesome.
See?
Yes.
Good job, Jamie. You built it from scratch, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go check it out.
Round up. All right.
Hey, Jamie, what's the difference between a regular roller coaster and a Giga Coaster?
There's really no regular roller coaster. They're all different. But for a Giga roller coaster, it's a roller coaster that has a drop of at least 300 feet,
Okay.
which the Orion here does.
So that's the main drop right there.
Woo! Yep.
And that's how many feet exactly?
So from the top of where the rider sits on the track to the lowest point in the drop, it's 300 feet.
300 exactly.
Yep.
Amazing. So Jamie, we're right here now. This is kind of where you store the cars for Orion?
Yeah, this is where we store the cars each night, and we also perform our daily preventive maintenance over on these storage tracks.
Can we go check them out?
Absolutely.
We'll look under the hood maybe?
We can look under the hood and under the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't be able to go to the top side here today, but we'll look underneath for sure.
Sure. All right, sweet. All right, this is up close with a roller coaster car.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, the roller coaster cars are very similar to a car that you ride in. I mean, they have wheels,
Uh-huh.
and here we have 3 sets of wheels: the main road wheels, the side guide wheels, and what we call upstop wheels. These ride on 3 areas of the track that you see out in the out on the ride.
So what does each wheel do? Can you explain that again?
This is a primary running wheel. This is the wheels that supports the majority of the load of the coaster, and this is a side wheel. It keeps the train from side to side.
Keeps it on the track here.
Absolutely. And if you get some uptime or you go inverted, which you don't on this one, this upstop wheel is to keep it from uplifting.
So inverted is upside down, of course, when you're like on, say, maybe
Yep.
Banshee and things of that nature.
When you go through a loop or a corkscrew or one of those elements like that, that's
so
what we call
these are the guys that keep you from flying off there.
Yep.
Oh, this is cool.
And if you ridden Orion, you notice that you get some air time on some of the hills. So when you're feeling that sense of weightlessness, you're probably using these wheels here a little bit.
Okay.
Like on Diamondback.
Absolutely. Yep.
Very cool.
Some coaster you hear it go up and down.
Yeah.
Like, you hear the clicking noise as it's
That's
going up
that.
the hill. That's that device there.
So when you're going up the hill and it's going, how did you do that? I can't move it
Yeah,
with
it's
one
heavy.
hand.
Yeah, it just clicks and ratchets, and
So
if the train stops, this right here engages a rack to keep it from rolling backwards.
So it sounds like a chain almost, but that's what that is. So when you hear the clack, 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 clack,
Yep.
that's it.
And yep, that's it. Orion has another unique feature. This is two magnets. As it's rolling up the hill, these magnets actually, there's a fin that runs through here. That you have eddy current that is between these 2 magnets. It lifts this so you have a silent. You don't hear the click, click, clicking on Orion.
Oh,
And this is the device that does that.
cool.
But as soon as you stop, the anti-rollback drops into its locking position.
Neat. Oh man, this is underneath. Here's all the wires.
This is the release for the restraint mechanisms here. This wheel here, there's a device in the station that pushes up this lever, and it actually unlocks the restraints. And this is all spring loaded, so when this is down, all the locks are in place via springs.
Yeah, it's all happening, and you're not seeing any of it unless you're on the Big Dave Show virtual field trip.
That's exactly right.
Exactly right, man. I love it.
So how many trains in total do you have for just the Orion coaster?
Just the Orion has 3 trains, and each train consists of 8 cars.
And how many run at a time?
All 3.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
Woo, that's a
Yep,
lot of
all
stuff
3
to be on
can
top
be
of.
moving continuously.
Let's check it out. So you guys, this is kind of like the bay at an oil change station where you pull up and the guys are underneath there working on stuff. So guys just come in here and work underneath here.
Yep. Each day they come over here and work. They do visual inspections on the entire train.
What are these right here?
This is slip rings for the restraint monitoring devices.
Okay.
Each restraint is monitored for position to make sure it's down far enough on your lap before the train will actually leave the station.
Gotcha.
So before the train leaves and we give the acknowledgement to leave or dispatch, every restraint is checked for position through proximity switches on the train.
So,
And this is the power rails for those switches.
Jamie, let me ask you this: what, like, just like tires on a car? I mean, these things have to eventually start wearing down. At what point do they, you know, you have to replace these?
We work with the manufacturer, and there's some requirements for minimum diameters. And you're exactly right; they do wear over time, and over time that overall diameter reduces in actual measurement. So we monitor those each day as well. And we have we have a gauge that we use. We call a no-go gauge, and it has the exact measurement that's too small for this to be ran.
So it's
And
kind
when
of
it
like
reaches
like a penny in your tire when you check your tread, and the no-go gauge is what you guys use.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right, Jamie, I want to know, what do these buttons do? What if I touch that?
This particular button, what it's used for is to confirm that there's nobody underneath this track before we move the train into the storage rail. So a technician, each time we get ready to put a train on the main track, we have what we call a transfer table that comes over and aligns itself with this train. And the technicians push buttons to move this train onto that transfer table so it can go onto the main track. This is a button that confirms that the technicians has cleared this area and that all these are in the right position, and then the train can be moved forward.
So it's for safety.
It's for safety.
Absolutely. She thought it was going to start up the coaster.
I didn't know what was going to happen.
So going down the track, it goes every which direction. These things must have to move pretty wild, huh?
Yep, they do.
Let's see the
move
articulation.
They move on different axes this way. They also rotate to go
Oh,
around
wow.
curves and things like that. These side wheels are actually spring loaded to make sure they keep contact with the track at all times, to ensure smoother transitions from turning left to right or going straight.
Wow. And then it just goes any which way.
Yep.
That looks like fun. What's this little brush right here for?
This little brush right here is a static discharge brush.
A static brush.
Yep. It grounds the train as it approaches these proximity switches.
Aha.
If you ever been around in a carpet or rubbed your hands on a balloon, you see your hair stand up. That's called a static charge. And if you touch somebody that's grounded and you're not, you know what happens? You get a little zap. Well, same thing happens with this. As this train's rolling around the track, these wheels are creating a static electricity. And this brush just maintains that, stays dissipated.
So you don't get shocked on the
So we
ride.
don't zap the proximity switches, which are electrical and don't like to be zapped.
Sure. So we're going to head over here in a minute to check out one of my favorite roller coasters, Mystic Timbers. I'm a big fan of the wooden roller coasters, and I think it was a dynamite addition to Kings Island. And it's probably a little different looking underneath and over there than these are.
Again, Mystic Timbers, Orion are both roller coasters, so they have a lot of similarities. And you have running wheels, you have side wheels, and you have upstop wheels, even anti-rollback dogs and chain dogs, and the restraint systems. But the biggest difference between the two is one runs on a steel track, the other runs on a wooden track. And there's a little different maintenance requirements that are required for the wooden coasters in comparison to the steel.
Cool. Let's go check it out.
Absolutely.
So Jamie, what is your favorite roller coaster here at Kings Island?
Well, actually, I have a couple. Orion is my favorite steel roller coaster, and we're going to see Mystic Timbers, which is also my favorite wooden roller coaster.
Oh, Chelsea, what's yours?
Mystic Timbers.
Oh, it is.
And
I
the
love
Beast,
Mystic
yes.
Timbers. I'm a Beast man, but Banshee and Mystic Timbers. I mean, those are my top three: Banshee, Beast, and Mystic. But I love riding them all.
Yeah, they're great. I love riding. You know, each one you get a different effect. I mean, you get a different thrill. Inverted coaster with Banshee. You know, you got the Beast as a classic. You know, it's a very good ride.
Yeah.
Very long. But Mystic Timbers, I like the bobsled action on it.
Oh, it's
And,
fast.
Yes.
Yep, it's really fast, and just the perception that how fast you are going when you're sitting that low to the ground and diving through the woods is really unique.
So this is a test of the Diamondback. Nobody's on there. And so here it goes. Woo! And off it goes. There it goes. So that drop right there, we were talking about Giga Coaster had to have a 300-foot drop like Orion. What's the drop on Diamondback?
This is a hyper coaster, and the drop has to be 200 feet or more. And the
Hyper coaster.
Diamondback is just over 200 feet with the first drop.
What's
So
the fastest roller coaster out here?
fastest roller coaster at Kings Island is Orion.
Orion.
And it's about 91, 92 miles an hour.
Banshee's in the 80s, right?
Banshee's 65
Okay.
plus or so. Diamondback is 80, 82, something like that, depending on how cold it is that day.
What does the Beast get up to? Because it feels like you're going really fast on the Beast.
The Beast approach is about 60 miles an hour.
All right.
It is
All
fastest.
of them are fast. and
All of them are very
thrilled.
fast.
I love it. Are they going to come back through?
You may have noticed Diamondback just operating without any water in the pool.
Yeah, it's empty down there.
Yeah. We do have provisions in the control system that we can operate it without the water.
But what does the water do for Diamondback when it comes? Because this is right at the end here.
Yeah, the water provides a nice dynamic effect for viewers to see the spray of water. It also provides some braking for the ride as it approaches the main brake zone here.
So it slows it down a little bit.
It does slow it down just a little.
Cool. Never knew that. I thought it was just stat so he could get wet and get a shower out here.
Yeah, that's how I get a bath for the week.
Yeah.
Woo, we're finally over here, ready to check out one of my favorite roller coasters in Kings Island, Mystic Timbers. It's a really fast wooden roller coaster. Like Jamie says, a little different.
Warning,
Uh-oh.
do not enter. A mandatory and ongoing lockdown has been ordered for the Miami River Lumber Company.
Stat.
Repeat, do not enter.
Nah, we're entering anyway. All right, so we're going up the back exit here. We're breaking the rules here, Chad. Good thing you're with us.
Hi Dave, we're over at Mystic Timbers Operator Controls. This is where the main driver sits for the ride that's actually cycling trains each day that you ride as a guest. There's lots of different buttons that they go through. This is an overall ride start. We start our lift chain with this button here when all is clear out on the track. And this is the infamous dispatch button. If you'll notice around the station, there's 2 or 3 of these so that multiple operators have to agree that it's okay to send a train.
So it's not just one person saying, okay, all clear. It's a 3-person process.
That's correct.
So it's kind of like the keys to the missiles. There's not just one person with them. There's a couple.
Yeah, there's not a secret code or anything.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting all thumbs up and ready to go. Mystic Timbers, like Orion, is also 3 trains and has 12 cars per train.
Wow. So that's a lot to keep up with.
Yes. In the off season, all the trains come off the track or out of the storage areas and go down to our main shop where they're disassembled and inspected with the non-destructive testing methods. And then they're reassembled and put back on the track. And Diamondback, as we've seen earlier, had just finished all that testing and inspections, has been reassembled, and now we're doing our test cycles.
Sweet. Master control right here. All right, Jamie, so this is the shed. We're here now. And there's where the monster comes out.
Yeah.
Is there a way? Oh, he's not coming out right now, is he?
No, he won't come out now. He's waiting for the train to come into this area before he actually comes out.
So there's a trigger.
There is a trigger.
And this is all video screen right here.
Yep, and it's cropped to fit this theming elements in here. If you look up above, you'll see the projectors.
All right, there they are. Of course, the lights are off when you come in, and you don't get to see all that. But this is cool. I love this part of the end of the ride. Normally, I'm not happy for a roller coaster ride to end, but I like it on Mystic Timbers because it's always so fun in here.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and it also adds another element that you don't always get with other coasters.
Sure.
As you're waiting to come back into the station after your ride, you're getting treated with this unique thrilling experience here.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, there's something scary over there. There's a guy trying to get a Coke. Do you guys get this stuff and have to make it look old, or do you buy it old?
we have to make it look old.
Yeah, I
A
figured.
lot of times we'll get some antique props, but most of the treatments are done by ourselves or by a third party we have helping us.
Sure. Cool. All right, here's the cars for Mystic Timbers.
Like we saw over at Orion, this is the maintenance storage area. Each night, the cars are placed back on these storage rails so then the mechanics can do their inspections in the morning. They get underneath these and they do a visual inspection each day. And like Orion, this one is very similar. It has the 3 types of wheels. You have the main running wheels, then you have the side wheels, and then you have the upstop wheels.
Just like it's just on a wooden track as opposed to a metal one.
Yep. You'll see a segment of a track here. It's all wood. The whole stack is built of wood, as you see over there, different layers. And then it's topped with a piece of steel that the wheels actually make contact with.
Cool.
And while it's on the maintenance rail, those wheels aren't on this part of the track. They're made
So you can get to them.
And you can rotate them to make sure there's no issues with bearings and those type things.
Oh, here's where the inaugural crew that ran Mystic Timbers. Look at that. 2017. We're going to be turning 4 years old this year. How about that?
That's great. Time flies.
So does Mystic Timbers.
Absolutely.
Now, Jamie, I've always wondered, is there electricity running through the tracks? How does the train keep going throughout the whole roller coaster?
Here at Mystic Timbers, it's strictly a gravity induced coaster. What that means is that the elevation we're sitting at now is higher than the elevation in front of it. Now, when you release the brakes, the train rolls.
So it's kind of like we were at LM&M Railroad last week, and they talked about how sometimes they get a train going and they shut off the engine and let it coast.
Yep. Yeah, there's some inertia behind that one. Here we have brakes throughout the track you see in the station. These are used to control the speed and also park the train in the final position for loading and unloading.
Cool. Well, I'll tell you what, Jamie, thanks for showing us around today. We appreciate all the hard work you guys do. You make our summers a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Here at Kings Island. And Chad, you're about to join us here in just a second, aren't you?
I can't wait.
Live on the Zoom call. I bet there's going to be a lot of questions, buddy.
I'll bring them on.
Woo! All right, how about that? That was a lot of fun, guys, and enjoyed seeing behind the scenes, learning how roller coasters work. And I'm going to find Chad here real fast. So you guys can start. There he is. I'm going to make you spotlighted, Chad. There you are.
All right.
In all your glory.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Yeah. So if you guys want to start asking some questions, I will read them to Chad. Okay, let's see. Well, we'll start with this one. Hudson wants to know, is there a backup control system if something happens to the main control system? I guess that's on any ride.
Yeah, that's a great question. And of course, safety is the #1 concern in Kings Island. So not only do we have backups to our backups, but we have backups to that. So one thing that you can be assured of when you visit to Kings Island, we have hundreds of people working to keep you safe every single day when you visit, and our roller coasters and our other rides and attractions are no different than that.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see here. Cutie Wolf 1 or Cutie Wolf 99 wants to know, are there rides for kids to try? Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we have an award-winning kids area, Planet Snoopy, that has won best kids area in the world at any amusement park almost 20 times. So yeah, definitely come out. There's a lot of Peanuts themed, Charlie Brown themed rides there. And you know, the kids that come to the park, the families that come to the park, they love their day. A lot of them don't even leave the kids area, even though there's so much more at the park to enjoy as well.
And I know that I know this because I have 2 kids that are now both tall enough to ride everything at Kings Island, but I knew all the heights for the roller coasters, and I think once you hit 48 inches, 4 feet, you can start riding some of the bigger roller coasters at Kings Island. Is that correct, Chad?
That's exactly right. Yeah, some of the coasters over in the kids area are a little bit less than that at 42 inches, but yeah, Mystic Timbers, the one we were just learning about, is 48 inches. And, you know, we have a few over there that are options for if you haven't quite hit that 4.5 foot mark yet and you're just at 4 foot. Yeah, you're going to have a good time too. We've got some great coasters there for you.
I think Diamondback is the one you have to be the tallest to ride.
Yeah, it is. And not only that, but some of our rides you can't be too tall either, you know, so definitely learn about that when you come to the park. That we have a park guide on our website, and it not only talks about all of the rides and describes them, but also describes, you know, the height requirements and anything else you might need to know when you visit.
Okay, Hudson also wants to know, how long does it take to assemble a new roller coaster that is brought in? Well, I guess Orion took a while, didn't it? But I mean, you got to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, with Orion, our most recent coaster, the first pieces of steel arrived on site in mid-August of 2019, and it was finished in February. The last piece went into place, and, you know, we were, you know, up and running with trains testing it shortly after that. So in the grand scheme of things, not very long to put together something like that. Of course, the design process that goes into it and the engineering and the expertise before that takes a long time also.
Sure. Tim would like to know, what is the longest coaster time-wise at Kings Island? Can I guess? I think it's the Beast.
Time-wise? Yes. Time-wise it is. And also, the Beast is the longest wooden coaster on the planet. So yeah, you're gonna cover a lot of ground, go over a lot of timber when you're riding the Beast.
Okay, what's the fastest ride? Grayson would like to know.
The fastest ride, it might surprise you. It's not Orion at 91 miles per hour. It's the slingshot that shoots you straight up into the air with a ball. It approaches 100 miles per hour when it takes off.
Wow. All right. Let's see. How many rides? Okay, we got that one. What's the fastest? How many rides do you have in Kings Island?
We have, when you count, depending on how you define ride. So if you're counting traditional amusement park rides and also water slides and things like that over in our water park and some of our other attractions, we're up over 100 rides and attractions at Kings Island.
Okay, I'm going to cut through some of them. You do have log rides. Jason wants to know. How do the loops work on roller coasters? Maureen wanted to know. And I think Jamie was showing us the wheels that keep us on the track there.
Yeah.
Wheels. Katie wants to know, what's the oldest ride in the park?
Yeah, we have the oldest ride in the park, to answer your question. Even though the park opened in 1972, some of our rides were operating elsewhere before they came to Kings Island. The oldest one in our park is the Grand Carousel, and it actually was at Coney Island before it came to us. Something interesting that a lot of people don't know is one time Coney Island flooded back in the 1930s, and parts of the carousel actually went down the Ohio River, and a number of people, you know, put out pleas to return the horses back to Kings Island, and a lot of them came back. In fact, the furthest one that was found was in the Mississippi River.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
So yeah, it's amazing.
Let's see, what they want to know what the speed is of Mystic Timbers.
The speed of Mystic Timbers is in the mid-50s miles per hour, but don't let that deceive you. What's fun about Mystic Timbers are the airtime moments on the ride, and that's where you're going up and down, and you feel like you're going, you know, your seat's coming up out of the ride, and that speed and the woods that are around you flying by. It feels a lot quicker than that to me. I don't know about you, Big Dave, but when I've ridden it, I feel like it's going 100 miles per hour.
And I think it's because you're lower to the ground too on Mystic.
Absolutely.
You're close to the track. Okay, Hudson wants to know, is it true that a roller coaster will go faster if you put adults in the front or more weight, or do they go the same speed regardless?
Pretty much the same speed. You might see some variance. You know, weather conditions might also affect that as well. But in general, our rides are engineered to operate safely, no matter if children are seated in the front or the back and vice versa.
Okay. We'll get a couple of more. How many people work at Kings Island?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. Something I love talking about because I started at Kings Island when I was in high school. I worked there in college also. And at any given time, when we're actually looking to open the park, we have more than 4,000 positions available. So if anyone out there is interested in working at the park, we're hiring right now for anything you might imagine, from working in a restaurant to riding, operating rides, working in the water park. If you're a lifeguard, we have so many different positions available that anything you might be interested in, you can find at Kings Island.
Okay, a couple more, and then guys, I know we all have to go, and a lot of you got to go to lunch. Let me see here. Oh, where'd that one go? Okay, well, they want to know what your favorite water ride is. Joni wants to know.
Ooh, I like our log flume ride, Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown. One of the reasons I like it is because the Brady Bunch rode it back when they came to the park in 1973. And it's just something I look forward to riding with my kids when I visit the park in my free time. I just love that ride.
All right. And okay, what's the roller coaster that has the most corkscrews and loopity loops? Jason wants to know.
In the world, I'm not sure, but what I can tell you is that at Kings Island, Banshee is an inverted coaster. It's the longest steel inverted coaster in the world, and it has the most loops here at the park.
All right. Well, Chad Showalter, thank you so much for joining us today. I think you wanted to let some of the teachers know something about when Kings Island is open and when regular Kings Island days for schools and things of that nature can resume.
Yeah, this year is a little different than most of our years, but one of the things we love the most is when we can welcome out students in the spring to visit Kings Island for our education days, for, our performances in the park or whatever that might be, engineering days. We have marketing day at the park. So if you don't know about the field trips that we offer, please go to our website at visitkingsisland.com to learn more. You can request information. One of our education specialists will be happy to follow up with you and tell you more about that. But we found it's a great way to celebrate a successful school year and everything that they've learned, and learn about the science of running an amusement park. You got a taste of it today with Big Dave, but we offer curriculum, we have printouts and activities that will keep you busy for a while, but not too busy that you can't have a little fun riding rides also. So come out and visit us. We would love to see you, and reach out to us on our website to learn more.
Visit kingsisland.com. Thank you so much, Chad, and tell Jamie Gaffney there, thank him for us as well, okay? And guys, we're running far behind. This is our final field trip of the spring here. We'll see how it goes in the fall. I don't know what the future holds for us. None of us do right now as far as everything goes, but here's hoping that you guys get to go on regular field trips soon. But for Statman, Ashley, and Chelsea, and you guys, everybody wave. Thank you to Grippo, Skyline Chili, and Hawksworth Blood Center for sponsoring our fun. And to you guys, thanks for coming along all year long on our Big Dave Show virtual field trip. Yay, everybody unmute and say bye. Everybody unmute right now.
Bye.
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 We had a great time with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Have a great day. Favorite place.
Perfect.
Bye.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.